What we want to do now is I want to teach you a little bit about this method called tapping. So, Carolyn, you have a thought? What did you want to share?
I've read The Very Hungry Caterpillar.
You've read The Very Hungry Caterpillar? That's one of my favorites. That's a classic by Eric Carle. All right, so tapping. So tapping is this process of you just are going to touch certain parts of your body, okay? And you're going to say phrases to yourself. And tapping is another thing like yoga that can help you if you're feeling big energy, like have a big emotion, and it's a little bit hard to hold on to, then tapping may be one that can help you. I got some new little cubes that show us tapping can work when you're angry, when you're unsure or anxious. It can help when you're tired and need some energy. If you're sad or unsure, tapping can help with all kinds of emotions. So, the first thing you do is when you tap, you're going to take like the pads of your fingers and touch the side of your hand that we're going to call the karate chop. Okay. So maybe I'm anxious about something, and maybe I say something like this to myself: "Oh, I'm just not smart enough to do what Miss Sweatman is asking me to do. Oh, I don't know if I can do this math. It's so confusing. I don't get it. I'm never going to get it." And you actually say whatever negative self talk that you're saying to yourself, you say it, and you follow it up with, "But I accept myself, and I'm safe, and I'm okay. Even though I'm worried, I'm really worried about this and I really don't get it." Okay. So you touch that part of your hand as you say the negative self talk. And then you go through other points of the body and you tap and touch and you continue that negative self talk. Nuri, you have a thought or question? What did you want to add?
Um, if if you keep on thinking that you can't do it, then you really can't do it.
Right. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to say the negative, Nuri, so we can get it out of our bodies, and then we're going to move to the positive. So I'm so glad you pointed that out, because the idea is you want to get to where you say the positive, because yes, what you think about you bring about. And so we're using the tapping, we're using this process to get the negative words actually spoken out of our bodies and replaced with the positives. All right, good point. Yes, Chloe, you have a thought or question? Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks. I signed on. I want to hear you, and I have to ask Miss Sweatman a question.
Okay, Miss Sweatman will be back in a little bit. We're working on the end of our yoga fun today. We're actually thinking about how you tap. It's a new process, a new something to learn. Okay. Oh, you weren't through talking. I'm sorry. Go ahead and say it again.
I know how to tap.
Oh, awesome. Very good. All right, here we go. So we just said, Chloe, that we were worried about math and we couldn't do the math and we were not enough and not smart enough. And we were saying the negative. And Nuri was saying, now we don't want to say the negative. And he's right. We want to replace it. So what we're going to do is work through that one more time. You tap right above your eyebrows. You can do one side or both sides. And you say, "Oh, I'm just not smart enough to do this math." Go to the sides of your eyes and say, "Oh, it's too hard. I just can't do it. I just keep trying and I don't get it." And then you go under your eyes, all right, and you say those words again: "This is too much. I'm not enough. I can't figure this out. I just will never get it." And you start, as you tap now under your nose, you start to sound ridiculous to yourself, like, "This is crazy. I know that I'm in second grade. I know that Miss Wetman wouldn't give me something harder than I can do." All right, you go under your chin. And so as you say it out loud, the negative, it does replace with the positive, because you start to see, "Oh, wait a second, I can do this." All right, you go to your collarbones next. Those are the bones that are right here at the top of the chest. All right, and then this is my favorite. You're going to do the monkey. So you take one arm up, like you can even touch your head, and then touch right here under your arm and give it, "Oh, ah, 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 ah." All right. And then finally you tap your head. And those are all the tapping points. And if you don't hit them all, it's okay. All right. You're hitting many of them. And if you don't get it in order, that's okay. But you're going to go back through now. And now, like Nuri said, we're going to say I can do this math. It's a challenge. All right. Go to your side of your eye. It's a challenge, but I can do hard things. Miss Brown wears those earrings to remind me I can do hard things. All right, go under your eye and say, this math, I'm going to get it if I keep trying. Go underneath your nose. I'm smart enough. I'm in second grade. I'm doing what Miss Sweatman says I can do. And if I need to ask questions, go to your chin. I'm going to ask some questions. If I need extra help, I can get extra help. If I need to practice more, go to collarbones. And then finally, you go up under the arm again, do the monkey on this side. Ooh, there you go, Nuri. I hear your monkey. And then you tap your head. I got this. I can do hard things. I'm going to be okay. All right, and that's the process of tapping. So you start with a karate chop, you work with the negative first, you say it out loud as you go through the touch points. As you rotate through the touch points, you start to feel like, oh, wait a second. The positive comes up. I know I can do this. I know I can do hard things. And then you go through, and you can go through that more than one cycle. We just did one cycle of positive, one cycle of the negative, one cycle of positive, but you can do it as many times as you need to. But when you're through with the tapping process, a lot of times you found some calm, or you found some strength, or you found some courage. And it's that part, it's a combination of you using your words, but it's also this idea of touching and using that repetitive movement to help you find that peace as well. All right, thumbs up for that. Yay.